All right, guys, so we are back into the swing of things. Right now, working on this floor here. This shouldn't take too much longer. The nice thing about this is that you don't really have to cut anything. You can just kind of pull pieces off and then fit them where they need to go. Sometimes you need to cut stuff, but for the most part, you don't have to. And once this is done, we'll work on this floor, get that floor knocked out as well tonight, hopefully. And then tomorrow, we'll grout this floor, not that one yet, so that this is completely finished. This floor system is completely finished. And then at that point, what I can do is I can cover this in cardboard. And so then as I'm wrapping the curb, as I'm doing this tile, as I'm doing all those components, I'm not getting any kind of glue in all these crevices. That is a major pain to clean up later on. So it's best to just, I find, some guys don't do it that way, but I find it's best to do this floor first completely and then move on to the rest of it. So that's how I do it. And yeah, so we're gonna be jumping into time-lapse mode just to kind of finish this up and whatever we do here, and let's get to it. So shower floor is done. I still have to do over the grate, but this has got to set up first, and then I'll do that specific grate and we'll be good to go. One thing I did want to mention though in regards to the floor. So one thing that we like to use with the floor is this device here. This is called a Spin Doctor. There's a bunch of different manufacturers that have similar concepts. And what this is it's a leveling system. And so obviously with this, I don't need that with the shower floor just because it's so inconsistent and everything anyway. And this is already pre-sloped and everything. So I don't want to use that with this, and you can't because it's so small. It would take you forever. But when you're doing these big pieces of floor, sometimes you might have some inconsistencies in the floor, and this helps fix that. So you use this goes under the tile, lifts it up a little bit off the floor itself, and this screws down, and you just tighten that up, and it pulls everything to level. Really handy little tool. Once you're done, you can see that this is perforated right here. So once it's done, you just snap it off with a hammer. This little piece down here stays below the surface, and the rest of it gets thrown out. And then this is just reusable for future use. So really cool little tool and something that we use a lot. So I just thought I'd share that with you guys before we get started on this. All right, so here's where we're at. Shower floor is completed and it is drying and should be ready for grout tomorrow. I also was able to complete a section of this floor. Now the reason I didn't do the whole thing was because I was invited over to my pastor's house for dinner, and I got to this point and ran out of adhesive. Would have had to mix up some more, and I just realized it was probably a good stopping point. So I cleaned everything up and got ready to go. So depending on what time I get back, I don't know if I'm going to get this done tonight, but I may. I may also just push it off till tomorrow. So either way, what still needs to be completed at this point, the next steps are finish this floor out, grout this floor, wrap this curb, install the stone on the back side of the niche, install a trim piece on the two sides of the shower, at which point I can start installing all the tile in the shower and then install the shiplap on the walls. I still have this ceiling to fix, so that shouldn't be a big deal though, since I do not have to do any corner taping, since the shiplap's going up against the ceiling, and then the tile's also going up against the ceiling. So I just got to hit the screw heads and flat tape this seam here, and so that should be pretty straightforward. Yeah, it's coming along. You never know what's going to happen. Yesterday I literally had no time to do anything. It was kind of a crazy day for me. So yeah, that was just a wash yesterday. So got back to it a little bit today, and hopefully I don't have another wash day this week. If I don't, I should be able to make some pretty good progress. I would think that I should be able to get the rest of the tile done at the bare minimum, but at the maximum, the rest of the tile done and all the shiplap on the walls. We shall see. So if you're following this, I guess you'll also see. So anyway, that's where we're at, and hope you all have a good night, and we'll talk to you soon.